Most people who move to Metro Atlanta pick a zip code based on one thing: price. They find a number they can afford, draw a circle around a map, and they start scheduling showings. And that works just fine until their kids get assigned to a school they've never heard of. Their commute turns into 90 minutes each way, and then they realize the nice suburb they picked has exactly one grocery store and a Chili's. I'm Darren Hunter, and I work with families relocating to North Metro Atlanta every single week. Mortgage strategy is what I do, but the conversations that actually matter happen before anyone talks about rates. They happen when somebody asks me the real question: where should I actually live? So we're starting a series, city by city. We're going to break down Metro Atlanta's most talked about communities, the demographics, income levels, schools, jobs, retail, entertainment, healthcare, transportation, housing costs, everything you need to make a real decision, not just on a guess. City number one, Alpharetta, and it's not just alphabetical. Forbes called it the #1 place to move in America. Money Magazine called it the best place to live in Georgia, and it sits 26 miles north of downtown Atlanta, which means most people considering to move to this region drive right past the exit without even really knowing what's up there. Here's the first thing you need to know and understand about Alpharetta. The city didn't exist in any meaningful way 45 years ago. In 1980, Alpharetta had just over 3,100 people, cotton fields, a courthouse, a few thousand residents who liked the quiet. Then, Georgia 400 happened. The highway pushed north through the corridor in the 1970s and early 80s, and in 1993 it connected all the way down to Buckhead and I-85. Suddenly, Alpharetta was 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Investors had already been running fiber optic cable through the corridor in the 80s, which at the time most people thought that was a strange bet, but it turns out they were right. By 2000, the population had hit 34,000. 2010, 57, and today it's sitting around 67,000, representing a 2,000% growth in 44 years. That kind of growth doesn't just happen by accident. It happens when infrastructure meets opportunity. And that's exactly what Alpharetta became: an opportunity city. Let me give you a demographic picture because this matters if you're trying to figure out whether this is your community. The median household income in Alpharetta is $173,310. That's not a typo. That's the 2024 American Community Survey 1-year estimate. Per capita income sits around $79,900. The poverty rate is 2.5%, which is well below the national figure. 74.4% of adults in Alpharetta hold a bachelor's degree or higher. The national average is 37%. You're looking at roughly double that in Alpharetta. The city has become significantly more diverse over the past 2 decades. The Asian American population nearly quadrupled from 5.7 in 2000 to over 20% today. About 26% of the residents are foreign born, more than double the Georgia state rate. 29% speak non-English language at home. The current breakdown runs roughly 55% white, 20% Asian, 10-11% Black or African American, 9% Latino or Hispanic. And then the median age is 41. Average household size, 2.6. 66% of the housing is owner-occupied. This is an educated, high-earning, professionally driven community. If that's your profile or the profile you're working toward, you're in the right city. Now let's talk about why those incomes exist. Alpharetta calls itself the technology city of the South. That's not a marketing slogan somebody invented. It's backed by a number that stopped me when I first saw it. Roughly 900 technology companies operate within the city limits. 9 Fortune 500 companies have a presence there. The workforce density is 4,600 workers per square mile. That exceeds Denver, Houston, Charlotte, Nashville, and the city of itself, Atlanta. Over 85,000 people commute into Alpharetta every single day. That's more daily workers than the city has residents. In 2022, the Georgia General Assembly officially designated a 7-mile stretch of Georgia 400 from Haynesbridge Road to State Route 20 as the technology corridor. That corridor holds 25 million square foot of office space and represents the highest concentration of tech talent in the state. The major employers read like the who's who of corporate America. Verizon has roughly 3,000 employees there. ADP has about 2,200. Fiserv, 2,000. McKinnison Technology Solution, the division, runs about 1,800. Equifax, LexisNexis, Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, Comcast, Siemens, Global Payments, NCR, all with significant operations in the city. Ernst & Young launched an AI lab in Alpharetta in December 2025. Equifax announced a $25 million campus expansion in September of 2025. This is not a suburb where people commute out every morning to go to work. A huge portion of Alpharetta residents work within 10 to 15 minutes of their front door. That's a quality of life factor that doesn't show up in the rankings, but it changes everything about your daily experience. The unemployment rate sits between 2.8 and 3.6%, consistently below the state and national averages. If you have kids or you're planning to, this next section is probably why you clicked on the video. Every Alpharetta area high school earns an A+ from niche, every single one. Northview High School is ranked number 5 in Georgia, 195th nationally. It has an 86% math proficiency rate, a 99% graduation rate, and an average SAT score of 1264. U.S. News ranked it number 1 in Fulton County. Chattahoochee, my alma mater, is number 6 in Georgia. Alpharetta High is number 7 with an IB program and dual enrollment options. The city's 33 public schools average 10 out of 10 rating on the Public School Review, placing them in the top 5% statewide. Math and reading proficiency both average around 70%, roughly double the Georgia State's average of 39 to 40%. Creekview Elementary and Lake Windward Elementary rank in the top 1% statewide with math proficiency rates between 88 and 91%. If you want private school options, Fulton Science Academy is ranked number 2 best private high schools in Georgia by niche. It's a national blue ribbon school with 98% AP pass rate and tuition costs around almost $20,000. Kings Ridge Christian School was founded in 2001 by a group of families that included MLB Hall of Famer John Smoltz and runs a 6-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Average private school tuition in Alpharetta is just over $20,000. About 15% of K through 12 students attend private school compared to 9% on the state average. The school system alone drives a significant portion of the demand for housing in this market. Families move to Alpharetta specifically for these schools. That's worth knowing before you start comparing prices to other North Fulton communities. Let's talk about what the city actually feels like to live in, because the numbers only tell part of the story. Downtown Alpharetta centers on Main Street, and it's genuinely walkable in a way that most Atlanta suburbs aren't. A public-private revitalization that started in 2003 master plan replaced empty lots with real streetscape, 50+ retailers, 40+ restaurants, free parking decks, and an open container policy that lets you carry your drink from a restaurant out into the street so you can continue the party. The dining options are legitimate. Citizen Soul does an upscale gastropub thing and is known for their pimento cheese fritters. Up on the roof is exactly what it sounds like, a rooftop restaurant with a 360-degree view that stays open till 2 a.m. on the weekends. Fogon and Lion brings a Latin food and live salsa. Roaring Social inside the Hamilton Hotel runs a 1920s speakeasy vibe with live entertainment 5 nights a week. And then there's the Avalon. The Avalon is an 86-acre, $1 billion mixed-use development that opened in October 2014. 570,000 square feet of retail, 750,000 square feet of Class A office space, 637 residents, a 330 autograph collection hotel, a 12-screen Regal Cinema, 26 restaurants, Whole Food, Apple, Crate & Barrel, Anthropologie, Lululemon, Pottery Barn, and much more. It was Georgia's first gigabyte community. It hosts over 200 events annually, and it's connected to downtown Alpharetta by the Alpha Loop Trail, a paved urban trail network that, when fully completed, will run 8 miles linking downtown, Avalon, office parks, and a future MARTA bus rapid transportation station. This is what suburban retail looks like when it's done right, and it's worth noting that the North Point Mall, the 1.3 million square foot traditional mall that opened back in 1993, has watched its taxable value drop by 47% since 2019 as shoppers migrate to the Avalon. A major redevelopment is underway. In February of 2026, Jamestown, who does everything phenomenal, is behind Pond City Market, entered an agreement to transform the site into something that includes a proposed 20,000-seat NHL-ready arena, a 4,000-seat music hall, 900 apartments, hotels, and dining. If this gets approved, Alpharetta won't just be a suburb with good shopping. It'll have its own professional sport venue. It's going to be unbelievable. The city has 775+ acres of parkland across 30+ parks. The Big Creek Greenway is a 12-foot wide trail that runs 12 miles through Alpharetta. 26 miles in total when you count the section through Roswell and into Forsyth County. It's been continuously invested in since 1995. Wills Park alone has 120 acres with a 60-acre equestrian facility, 10 baseball fields, an aquatic center, 6 tennis courts, an 18-hole disc golf course, and community gardens. For entertainment outside the city, the Ameris Bank Amphitheater is 2.7 miles from downtown, a 12,000-seat outdoor concert venue that runs major acts from April through October. The Atlanta Braves at Truist Park is about 20 miles away. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home to the Falcons and the Atlanta United, about 26 miles. The Hawks at State Farm Arena, same distance. The city also runs its own adult recreational leagues, of course. Softball, basketball, flag football, kickball, beach volleyball. Youth programs cover basketball, baseball, lacrosse, football, volleyball, soccer, martial arts. There's a Topgolf, a main event, and an indoor concept called Fairway Social. The Wire and Wood Songwriters Festival draws over 20,000 people for a free 2-day event in October with 30-plus performances across 6 or 7 outdoor stages. Food Truck Alley runs the fourth Thursday of every month from April through October, and it's been going on for 14 seasons. Forbes ranked Alpharetta the 7th friendliest city in America. Southern Living named it one of the South's best cities on the rise in 2024. Now let's get into the stuff that actually affects your monthly budget. Housing in Alpharetta runs roughly 80% above the national median. The Zillow Home Value Index puts median home values around $656,000. Actual median sale price in early 2025 were running between $712,000 and $780,000, depending upon the source and the month. Detached homes average around $831,000. Townhouses coming closer to $598,000. For renters, expect to pay $1,700 to $2,100 a month for a one-bedroom. 2 bedrooms are running about $2,000 to $2,700. The median gross rent from census data is $2,161 for a rental. That's on average. Property taxes combine 3 levying authorities: the city of Alpharetta, Fulton County, and Fulton County Schools, a combined rate of about 33 mills. Georgia assesses at 40% of market value, so the median annual property tax bill lands around $5,300. The city offers a $45,000 basic homestead exemption plus a 3% floating exemption. Fulton County adds another $30,000 exemption, increasing to $50,000 at age 65. The overall cost of living runs about 13 to 15% above the national average, but groceries, utilities, and transportation are all near national norms. It's housing that drives the number, and at $173,000 median household income, the math works for most buyers in this market, though you need to go in with clear eyes about what you're getting into. Now, transportation is one area where Alpharetta has a real limitation, and I'd rather tell you straight than let you find out after you sign and you buy your house. There is no MARTA rail in Alpharetta. The closest station is North Springs, the northern terminus of the Red Line, and it's about 11 miles south in Sandy Springs. That's 12 to 15 minutes without traffic, 20 to 40 minutes when things back up. From North Springs, you can reach Buckhead in 10 minutes, Midtown in 20, downtown in 25, and then the airport in about 45. 5 MARTA bus routes serve the city, including Route 140 from Mansell, the Park and Ride to North Springs Station. Fare is $2.50 one way, including bus to rail transfers. Express commuter buses also run during these peak hours. Here's what's coming, though. A $3.9 billion Georgia 400 express lane project that will add 16 miles of tolled express lanes from North Springs all the way to McFarland Parkway by 2031. Heavy construction starts in July of 2026, and built into that project is a 12-mile MARTA bus rapid transit line running within the new express lanes. The private consortium building the express lane is contributing about $75 million towards the transit enhancements. That's a significant shift in what commuting from Alpharetta looks like post-2031. Right now, the average commute for Alpharetta residents is about 23 minutes. That's short, and it reflects the fact that a large share of the residents actually either work locally or work remotely. About 64% drive alone, only about 1.2% use public transportation, so owning a car is essential in Alpharetta. Off-peak to downtown Alpharetta runs 30 to 35 minutes. Rush hour can stretch to 90 minutes plus minutes a day on a bad day. The airport is 34 miles away, so it's 40-45 minutes on an off-peak, 60 to 90 in traffic, so you need to plan accordingly if you're heading to the airport on a regular basis if you're living in Alpharetta. Healthcare access is super strong. The Northside Hospital Alpharetta Medical Campus on Old Milton Parkway is 140 acre outpatient complex with over 200 physicians. Wellstar North Fulton Hospital in Roswell is about 6 to 8 miles south with 218 beds and a level 2 trauma center. The Wellstar and Avalon Health Park is 40,000 square foot facility right in the Avalon area, covering urgent care, family medicine, cardiology, pediatrics, imaging. Kaiser Permanente has a medical center in Alpharetta as well. So when it comes to healthcare, you're covered. On the safety side, the total crime rate is about 1,400 per 100,000 residents. 34% below the national average. Violent crime runs about 26% below national norms. The city reported 0 murders in 2024. The 2024 crime rate fell 11% compared to 2023. Niche gives Alpharetta an A+ safety rating. The Department of Public Safety runs a combined structure merging police, fire, and 911 dispatch into one department. They hold an ISO 1 fire rating, the highest possible, which directly lowers your homeowner's insurance premiums. So let me bring this together for you because you came here to make a decision, not just collect information. Alpharetta is the right city for you if you're in tech, finance, healthcare, or professional services. If you have a school-age kid and public quality is non-negotiable, if you want a suburban lifestyle that doesn't feel like a culture dead zone, if you're coming from a coastal city and you want to stretch your income further, because $173,000 in Alpharetta goes substantially further than the same number in San Francisco, Seattle, or New York. The trade-offs are real. Housing costs are high. You need a car. Rush hour traffic on Georgia 400 is not a myth. And if you're used to hopping on the subway to get downtown, you're going to need to adjust your expectations until the BRT service comes online around 2031. But the job market, the school, the parks, the downtown, Avalon, the safety numbers, the healthcare access, the income levels, those aren't marketing. Those are documented, verifiable facts about what daily life in Alpharetta looks like. This city went from 3,000 people to 67,000 in 4 decades. The infrastructure investment happening right now, the express lanes, the BRT system, the potential NHL arena at North Point suggests the next chapter is just getting started. If you're seriously considering a move to North Metro Atlanta and you want to talk through what buying in Alpharetta actually looks like from a mortgage strategy standpoint, reach out. I work with buyers relocating to this market constantly, and the earlier you get the financial picture clear, the better your options are when the right house shows up. In the next video in this series, we're going to look at Woodstock, Alpharetta's neighbor to the west, with a completely different character and a lifestyle that attracts a very specific type of buyer. Drop a comment below. Are you considering Alpharetta, or is there another Metro Atlanta city you want us to cover next? That is some guaranteed information, and we'll see you on the next video.